I'm going to use my law of zero exponents here. I know my exponent is 0. My question is, what is my base? Who does that 0 belong to? Belongs to just the x. So it's that x to the 0 power that's going to become 1 according to my law. So x to the 0 power is 1. I still have my negative to the outside. And there you go. Now I know that my exponent is 0, but what is my base? 0, what does 0 belong to? The negative x. Because it's in parentheses, we're going to think of it as a group. I know that anything to the 0 power is 1. Simplifies to 1. The area of a rectangle. Let's make my rectangle. Area of my rectangle is 42x to the 4th. Oops. 42x to the 4th, y to the 7th, z to the 5th. And my width is 6, y to the 7th, z squared. Excuse the wrinkle on my screen. I'm looking for the length. The formula for the area is length times width. So if I'm looking to isolate the length, which is what I'm trying to do, I can divide both sides by the width, and I end up with area over width equals length. That's what I'm looking for. So length is equal to my area, which is 42x to the 4th, y to the 7th, z to the 5th, all over 6y to the 7th, z squared. Now, there's a lot of things I can simplify here. I'm going to be simplifying my coefficients like that. I'm going to be simplifying the quotients that have the same base. So here you can see that I have a y in the numerator and a y in the denominator. I've got a z in the numerator and a z in the denominator. So I'm going to be simplifying all of those. So 42 divided by 6 is 7. I have x to the 4th power, and I don't have an x on the bottom, so I'm going to keep my x in my numerator. Now I have y to the 7th divided by y to the 7th. Okay, so I've done that one. I've done that one. So my law of quotients of powers tells me y to the 7th divided by y to the 7th is y to the 7 minus 7, which is 0. So my result will be y to the 0 power, which is 1. I knew that anyway because y to anything divided by is 1. So it's going to become 1. I can put that there. And z to the 5th divided by z to the 2nd power, so I'll do that right down here. Z to the 5th divided by z to the 2nd power is going to be z to the 5 minus 2, which is 3. Which is z to the 3rd power. Okay. Now, if it turned out to be negative, I would put a negative up here, and then I would simplify it and move it to the bottom, move it to the denominator. But it's not, so we're good. So if I simplify this, I'll end up with 7x to the 4th z cubed. Okay, because 7 times 1 is 7. Here's my cube. My edge length is 9x to the 4th y. And I'm looking for the area of the face of a cube. And the area, I know what area is, and this is the face of a cube, just one side of this cube. So it looks like, and I know that's a cube, so I know each face is going to be a square. So I can figure out my area by doing my side length squared. 9x to the 4th y squared. Now I can use my power of a product. My product is 9, my factors are 9, x to the 4th, and y. So I'm going to padoop it. I'm going to end up with 9 squared times x to the 4th squared times y squared. I can rewrite it just like that. That's what my power of a product property tells me I can do. When I simplify, I'm going to get 81. Power to the power, multiplying, that's a fact. X to the 8th, y squared. Here I have another power of a product. My factors are 2a and b squared, Badoop, Badoop, and Badoop. I use my property to rewrite this as 2 to the third power times a to the third power times b squared to the third power. Get to use my power of a power property. I love that one. Multiply, and that's a fact. Okay, but first I'll have 8 times a cubed times, here we go, b to the 2 times 3, which is 6. So my answer is 8a cubed b to the 6th power. Simplified. Looking at this quotient, I don't have any bases that are the same, so I'm not going to be using my quotient properties. But it looks like I'm going to be using my property of the negative exponents. Ticket to ride. So let's start by taking care of a ticket to ride. Is 5 happy up? Yes. Does A have a ticket to ride? Yes, it does. A negative exponent is what a ticket is. So he's going to go into the denominator. So I'll have a to the 4th power. B does not have a ticket to ride. He's staying up in the numerator. C to the 0 power. I know that's going to simplify to 1. So I can put times 1, or I can just leave it like that. On the bottom, I've got my 10. Does my 10 have a negative exponent? No, it doesn't. Because remember that negative 2 just belongs to the D. So 10 stays on the bottom. And my D does have a negative exponent, so it's got a ticket to ride. It's going to ride the elevator up to D squared. One more thing I can do. Simplify my coefficients. That'll become a 1. That'll become a 2. And I end up with b squared d squared over 2 times a to the 4th. My numbers in front. My variables are alphabetized. Good. I'm going to multiply right across, like I do when I multiply fractions, because I am, essentially. So let's start with my numerator. I'm going to do 7 times 4, which is 28. Anything with the same base? Yes. Got an x to the 5th, and I've got an x to the 1st. Don't forget x to the 1st. That becomes x to the 5 plus 1, which is x to the 6th. I've got a y to the 2nd and a y to the 3rd. That becomes y to the 2 plus 3, which is y to the 5th. And in my denominator, put my 2 down there. And then I have an x to the 1st times an x to the 1st, which becomes x to the 2nd power. And then I have y to the 4th. Let's check it out and see if I have anything that I can simplify here. Well, I know I'm going to be able to simplify my coefficients. So I'll do that. So 24 divided by 2 is 14. Now I'm going to use my quotient rule on my same basis, on my x basis. So x to the 6th divided by x to the 2nd is x to the 6th minus 2, which is x to the 4th. Y to the 5th divided by y to the 4th is y to the 5 minus 4, which is y to the 1st power. I don't even need to write that 1st power. Oh, that was it. I'm done. I'm going to find the area of this triangle. My formula for area of a triangle is base times height over 2. And for this problem, I will tell you that it's a right triangle, which means this is my base and this is my height. So my area is 12x cubed times 8xy squared all over 2. So my area is 96. X to the 4th, remember that's an x to the 1st power, times y squared all over 2. And when I divide that out, I end up with 48x to the 4th y squared. Complete the rest in the next video. You guys doing okay?